What's happening, everyone? Nicky Hawkins here, West Ham Fan TV. The morning after the game before, Nottingham Forest 1, West Ham 0. How do you describe this one? Were we good? Not particularly. There were certain players that were good. There were certain players that underperformed. It was a really difficult day at the office. Now, I've read a lot of reports online saying that Nottingham Forest were brilliant, that we were the worst team. I totally disagree with that. In terms of chances created to chances converted, I think we had them on the ropes, to be quite honest with you. It was just a distinct lack of luck, a distinct lack of quality in certain areas. Thomas Souček a couple of times. And I think the whole afternoon can be sort of summed up by two incidents. Their goal and a miss for us early on. Obviously, you can talk about the VAR situation. You can talk about the VAR incident where we wasn't given the goal. You can argue about that till the cows come home. At the end of the day, the goal wasn't given. But the two turning points of the games for me is there was a chance early on with Ben Rama. Ben Rama struck a ball. The goalkeeper saved it, and it went across the goal. Souček was there, and a defender got to the ball just before Souček, and he cleared it off of him, and it could have gone anywhere. He defended well, but it was a little bit of luck by them. And when you go to the actual goal, it went the opposite way. It fell to Lingard. Lingard struck it poorly. It bounced off Johnson, bounced off the striker's knee and winning. And that was the difference between the day. It was the luck of the draw. It was really, really unlucky from West Ham. We hit the bar twice. Obviously, you had the VAR goal disallowed. The Souček header from one of the follow-ups was pretty poor. On another day, sticks out in the back of the net. Obviously, the penalty miss. And it was just one of them days. It was one of them days where you just felt nothing was going to go our way. It was all set up. It was, as Dan's quite rightly says, sometimes it's the football gods that smile down on you. I'm not panicking yet because City Ground was rocking yesterday. First game in the Premier League. It's always going to be difficult for any opposition team going there. They was well up for it. The referee didn't do himself any favours, done Nottingham Forest a lot of favours. I think we had a penalty shout turned down in Antonio, but there was a distinct lack of readiness from us. We was disjointed in places, not picking up the second balls again. I thought we was better than Nottingham Forest. First half, I think Nottingham Forest had us on toast for the first 30 minutes. I think we come into it and controlled the possession a little bit in the second half. Second half, I thought we was a lot better. One thing I would say a positive from that game was Ben Rama was absolutely magnificent. That is exactly what I want to see from Saïd Ben Rama. That's taking people on. That's confidence in wanting the ball, not shying away, not losing the ball and then going hiding. He was superb in everything he done yesterday. And that little chance that he created for the goal, when he scored it, when he sort of went round two defenders and flicked it through into space. That's exactly what I want to see from Saïd Ben Rama. He was magnificent yesterday. But this is the problem with Saïd Ben Rama. And a lot of people were sort of arguing about him and saying like, oh, well, he's not given a chance. He's not given this. He's not given that. He doesn't produce that enough. Let's be totally honest. He does not produce that sort of thing enough, but he did produce yesterday. Now, the big thing for him is we've got a European game on Thursday. He needs to produce in that. Then we've got Brighton again on Sunday, and he needs to produce in that. And I've got no doubt that we will score goals. We had a very, very unlucky day in front of goal on Sunday. We've lost to the champions. We've lost to the newly promoted team just because I think on another day we beat them 4, maybe 5-1 if all them chances go in. They had a couple of chances themselves, but not as many as the pundits would make you believe. I'm not worried yet, but there are certain players in that team that are stale. Let's be honest. And Ben Johnson centre back, I think he done bits and pieces really well. And I'm not going to blame him at all because he's playing out of position. Look, this kid's played right back, he's played left back, he's played centre back. He's going to be one of them players like Antonio that just fill in and I think he done certain things very well, but he did struggle against the more physical centre forward, which it's bread and butter for a centre back. That's why Issa Diop left, because he couldn't deal with the physicality. And I think when people were saying about Issa Diop and why did we let him go without a replacement, which I think is a bit stupid, I don't think he would have done much better on the day, because again, Forest were quite physical, and their centre forward, although I don't think he got like a 9 rating, which I think is crazy. I don't think he was great, but he scored the goal that come off his knee. It was lucky. It was as lucky as Antonio's first goal for us. But he was physical and he made himself a nuisance. Scamacca come on, didn't really do much. Cornet had 5 minutes. I would say Moisey has to be more proactive in the substitutes. I think there was signs enough that it wasn't going our way early on, crashing off the bar in the first minute of kicking off for the second half, first couple of minutes. And then you've got, the Souček chances, I thought he was pretty poor. Again, not really helping out in midfield either. I'd like to see Flynn Downs coming on Thursday to try and keep a bit of possession and let Declan Rice. I thought he was magnificent again, apart from the penalty miss. He wasn't his usual self. He struggled at times, but listen, Declan gives you the best performance he can give, and if we start blaming him for penalty misses and things like that, we're going down a dark path. I think he's been our talisman for 5-6 years now, so we'd be very harsh to do that. Get Scamacca in the starting lineup. It just needs freshening up. Like Antonio, with all due respect, and I love the bloke, he's just a bit stale. He works hard. He really did work hard. He had a bit of a tough day, but there were certain things he was doing, not going down under certain pressures, going down in places where, he perhaps could have stayed on his feet and created more chances. We've got to start shooting. We tried to do this tippy-tappy, sideways steps. I think we hit the bar from twice from outside the area. Start getting the ball down and striking the ball. I'm not gonna start panicking yet. Arsenal lost their first three games last season in pretty poor fashion, but the fixtures coming up are not favourable for us. We've got Brighton, who we've never beat. European game, got to get that done and dusted so we can have a bit of a rest the week after. And then Villa away, which is going to be a tough place to go. And then we've got Tottenham and Chelsea. We could quite easily find ourselves with no points, but come on, let's keep the faith. Let's not jump the gun just yet. I mean, I think that the people saying Moisey out and all that thing, I think you're just a bit. Some people didn't like Moyes from the get-go, and they use any opportunity to jump on him. But not panicking just yet, but not a great start. Got to be better, and I'm sure we will be. One thing left to say. Come on, you Irons.